Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. And window now open for a couple of days. Things starting to hot up. Players starting to get linked more and more to Arsenal. And of course, yesterday there were loads and loads of rumours flying around about this player, about that player. But very interestingly, I was looking at these quotes today from Olivier Giroud. Giroud was responding to quotes from Alan Shearer, the BBC Match of the Day pundit, who said that he felt that Arsenal need 3 signings in January in order to win the league. He said that he thinks we need a defender, a centre-back, which I don't really agree with that. He said he thinks we need a defensive midfielder and a striker. Now, Giroud was asked the question, do you think we need all these players? And Giroud has responded, and he said, and these are his quotes, he said, tell me where, just where, I will explain an opposite judgment. So that's what he's saying. Tell me where these players are needed. And he also said, we've got very good players as well on the bench, young players waiting to come in. They're very talented. I'm not worried about it. And he even went on to say that, you know, the dressing room are kind of aware that, you know, El Nene is going to be a guy that's going to be coming in. So Giroud, they're responding to, you know, the fact that Shearer saying we need 3 players. It sounds like Giroud saying, nah, we don't need many players. I mean, he also said that, you know, we've got Welbeck coming back. We've got Joel Campbell who can play in there in that 4 position. We've got Theo who can play up top. So will Arsenal go out there and get a striker, or will it just be the 1 or maybe 2 signings in the January transfer window, which is what a lot of people suspect? Of course, El Nene is going to be the guy that's going to be coming in. It's almost 100% done, as I said to you guys yesterday. Basel, who is selling us the player, have already got a replacement in. So, bar a disaster, that is almost certainly to be done. But there's been other players that Arsenal been looking at. One of them, the one that excites a lot of people, is the one Aubameyang, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who plays for Dortmund. I spoke about this yesterday. Arsenal apparently are willing to pay up to £42 million. Dortmund have previously said, listen, we're not interested in selling unless it be in the region of around about that money. Arsenal have apparently been in contact with Dortmund and said, well, you know what? We got 42 million. You know what I mean? What are you saying? You know what I mean? We're up for it. However, there's been quite a few pundits that have come out yesterday, pundits that are based in Germany, and they've said, you know what? It's true that Arsenal have made inquiries, or Arsenal are, you know, asking Dortmund about Aubameyang. Liverpool also apparently have been interested in him. But Dortmund at the moment do not want to sell Aubameyang. Aubameyang they see as a very important player in the rebuilding of their team. They're trying to get back to, you know, being where they were a couple of seasons ago, and they do not want to sell Aubameyang. So it looks like Arsenal showing ambition in this area, that if the top players are out there, they are gonna, you know, take a look or try and see if they can bring them in. But in this case of Aubameyang, certainly in January anyway, it looks like Dortmund definitely won't be selling. There's also been a hands-off warning issued to Arsenal. I like to use that word, hands-off warning. That's one of those words that are used at this time of year in the transfer talk. About Javier Hernandez, Chicharito, of course, who used to play for Manchester United. He's been tearing it up in the Bundesliga. Now, the sporting director of Bayer Leverkusen, who he plays for, has come out, that's Rudi Völler, has come out and said, listen, Arsenal, forget it. We are not selling Hernandez. We know you're interested in him. We know you're sniffing around. Well, you know what? Stop sniffing. You ain't got a chance. We're not going to be selling Javier Hernandez. Again, these sort of deals, I suppose, are down to Arsenal. Number one, how much they want the player. Number 2, are they aggressive enough to go out there and make that sort of bid that blows Leverkusen out of the water and makes the player be tempted to move? But at the moment, it looks like Hernandez and Aubameyang, whilst Arsenal interested in both of them, it looks like both of them are going to be staying put with their clubs in Germany. Adrien Rabiot, on the other hand, is an interesting one. Again, lots and lots of links with Arsenal to Rabiot, the defensive midfielder, stroke box-to-box midfielder. He's available for about £15 million. French, 20 years of age, really, really talented. Wants out of Paris Saint-Germain, wants regular football. Would he get regular football at Arsenal? I suppose he would at the moment, possibly, because the midfield is looking a little bit light. But he wants out. And there's still these rumours going around that Arsenal are willing to pay £15 million for him. And he, again, is one of those players who could come in and sort of fill that role of a defensive midfielder. Although he's not really a defensive midfielder. He's more of a box-to-box midfielder. There's also the rumours about Brozovic. We've spoken about Marcelo Brozovic. Plays for Inter Milan, on loan from Dynamo Zagreb. Midfielder, more of an attacking midfielder here. But remember when I was talking about this the other day, I was saying I can't see how this could happen, because if he's on loan to Inter Milan, how can they then sell him? Now, I've sort of been doing a little look into this one, and what it is that Inter Milan are about to buy him on a permanent deal. They've had him on loan from Dynamo Zagreb. They're going to buy him, but the rumour is that they may buy him, according to Repubblica newspaper over there in Italy, that they want to buy him and then sell him on immediately for £18.3 million to Arsenal. That would be really cheeky, that would be. I can't see this one happening. I know Arsenal were interested in him in the summer, but again, for me, very, very unlikely that this is going to be a deal that's going to happen. What about this guy here, right? Now, we've been talking about defensive midfielders, and of course, El Nene, as I said, looks like he's coming in. Spoken about Rabiot. Also kind of got the pick of a few defensive midfielders at the moment. And this guy, he's available, and I really rate this guy. So Gianelli Imbula, he used to play for Marseille. Very good defensive midfielder, solid, French. He's only 23 years of age. Now, he's available apparently for 18.5 million. He moved from Marseille to Porto in the summer. It hasn't happened for him. Arsenal will link with him in the summer, and is one of the players I was hoping that Arsenal may go out and get, because he is very Coquelin-like. You know what I mean? Very one of these guys who knows his role as a defensive midfielder, got the positional sense, stays there, does the job, great in the tackle, and a decent passer as well. And he's available. His agent has come out and said that Porto are willing to sell him in January. He's failed to settle, and you know, he's available. And that's his agent coming out and pushing him out there. And he would be perfect for Arsenal. Now, I suppose if they buy El Nene, they're not going to buy two defensive midfielders. Of course, at some stage, Coquelin's going to come back. But have Arsenal missed the trick by not moving in for him? Or have Arsenal just gone for the cheaper option? Or is El Nene better? I don't know. But when I've seen this guy play in Imbula, I've been very, very impressed with him. And he would have made a very good fit for Arsenal. Choice of defensive midfielders, as I said, another defensive midfielder Arsenal been looking at is this guy. You wouldn't have heard of him. He goes by the name of Youssef Vanessa. He's 19 years of age. He plays in France for AS Nancy, and he's a defensive midfielder. Also, apparently monitoring him. How many defensive midfielders are there? Maybe they were monitoring him before they decided to go for El Nene, or maybe they're monitoring him long term. But apparently Arsenal are taking a look at this guy. He plays in the French second division at the moment. Atletico Madrid and Lille also very interested in him. But certainly looks like a choice of defensive midfielders out there for Arsenal to fit, although it does look like El Nene is sort of like the first choice for Arsenal to go for. Right, listen, let's just get into a couple of comments from you guys. This one comes from Magatsu. He says, Batashai is one we should definitely go for. He would be some sort of inspiration up top. We spoke about Michy Batashai yesterday. Again, his club, Marseille, have come out and said that they don't want to sell him either. I suppose that's the standard thing. They're going to come out, you know, he's a hot striker. This is the difficulty in January. Nobody really, if you've got a player who's hot, why would you sell him? You know, you're looking at it and you're thinking, right, you know, if he's hot now and he continues to be hot from now January to the end of the season, which, let's face it, January, February, March, April, May is 4 months. So you're saying to yourself, for 4 months, shall I sell him now unless I get a crazy offer, or shall I hold on to him until the summer? If he's still hot, he would have got me further up the table or won me something or whatever, and he'll be worth more money. So this is why a lot of clubs, they're like, unless the offer is ridiculous, forget it. This guy here, Hamoud Ali, he says we should sign Griezmann. He's scoring goals for Atletico Madrid, and I think he'll fit in with Giroud because they're both French. Griezmann would be perfect, but why would Atletico Madrid, who are currently top of the Spanish league, sell their star player? It's just not going to happen. He's still going to, listen, unless he gets a serious injury, he'll still be the star player come the summer. He may have won them the league, and then they can move him on for even more money. Deals like that just ain't going to happen. Forget about it. Players like Griezmann are completely untouchable at this time of year. Even a club like Barcelona and Real Madrid would struggle with their Galactico money to pull off a deal like that in January. Romario Gale says, sad that Debuchy is going. We need to bring someone else in if he leaves. As I said yesterday, looks like a couple of options for Debuchy. One of them is Lyon, the other one West Brom. And finally, I'll finish with this one. Amina Jama says, we need a Belgian in our squad. Probably influenced by Lukaku, maybe not by Benteke, but well, to be fair, Benteke's been scoring a few goals as well. So there are some very, very good Belgian players out there at the moment. As we know, they've got a very, very, very strong team. Thank you very much for everybody who's been leaving the comments. I've been overwhelmed by the amount of comments. I'm trying to get through as many of them as I can, but so many comments coming in every day, and that's brilliant. Keep them coming. I'm going to try and do a show, actually, where I kind of go through loads and loads of your comments and try and, read out as many of them as I can, because some of them are excellent. Some excellent links as well. Some people have been coming up with some players that Arsenal could go for. I'll tell you what, some of the knowledge you guys have displayed, it's like you should be scouting for Arsenal. So absolutely brilliant. Keep that coming in. Thanks for watching AFTV Transfer Daily. We'll be back tomorrow around about the same time.